your reaction to, one, seeing that, but how these two could kind of work together to be efficient.
So the beautiful thing about team sports is we're going to laud LeBron James and AD, and rightfully so, as two of the top 5 players in the game. But I think the person that's going to unlock their attack has to be Kyle Kuzma. They need to be a big 3, not an outstanding 2. And if he continues to take a leap this season like he took last year, that's why I feel like they have the size up front with those 3 people, JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, to overcome, for example, a smaller team up front like the Clippers.
No, that size that you were talking about, one of the things that you didn't point out, and you did not miss much, was that if Anthony Davis shoots that, there's a small that's going to have to crack back on Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee. Like that type of paint presence and offensive rebounds and second shots, now that you add that with the shooting that they've added with Danny Green, just a better floor spacing opportunities, they're the biggest team that I've seen in a long time, and they're going to play a different style that's going to be tough to handle.
I know we don't hit it much, but AD mentioned it earlier before the season that he wants both of them to be on the all-defensive team. Let's talk defense. Is this going to be a good defensive team?
There'll be I think there's sides. There'll be a lot of deflections and blocks, but I don't think I want LeBron to waste all of his energy trying to defend the other team's best player. Like, I need LeBron to be healthy down the stretch. I need LeBron to be healthy and ready to go in the playoffs. And I focus on offense.
And that's why for the Lakers, whenever Andre Iguodala becomes available in Memphis, they're going to try to trade him between now and the February deadline. But short of that, he'll eventually get a buyout if there's no trade, and he'll be able to sign with whoever he wants. And that is going to be between the Lakers and the Clippers. And Iguodala has he can watch the season develop now. Watch if there's an injury somewhere that maybe changes a team's title hopes, but he can really see where he fits in, where his impact can be. But it will be between the 2 LA teams.
All right, let's talk about more teams just in California in general, Woj. And I know that you have more insights with the Warriors, but we're talking about dynamic 2s, Steph Curry and DAngelo Russell, the fit there. I mean, what are you hearing about the way that they're working together and figuring out how to start this season together?
Yeah, Maria, I talked to DAngelo Russell earlier today after their shoot-around, and he was just raving about how welcoming Steph Curry has been to him and how he has allowed him to help, start learning to play to DAngelo's strengths. He says all the things you hear about Steph and you imagine what it might be like. He said, I underestimated all of it. And he said, it isn't just on the floor and how he works. And he's the first guy in the gym. He gets his work done. He said, but I find myself watching him on the bus, how he talks to people, how he interacts in the locker room, the way he leads. He said that he had been telling his own brothers the other day, I find myself just staring at him. And I talked to Bob Myers, their GM. He's watched Steph Curry through the years integrate Klay Thompson, Iguodala, Kevin Durant. And part of it, what Bob says, is there's never drama with Steph Curry. He gives you a feeling in that locker room that everything's going to be okay, and he brings calm to it. And when you're coming into a new team, that really helps.
Maybe that's an underrated strength that we don't talk about that much. We've gone straight to the court with how their games kind of fit together. But the value of Steph, one of those stars that doesn't seem like he has the ego of a star, would fit with anyone.
Absolutely, and allowed Draymond Green to emerge as the vocal leader of the team. And when you have that level of humility, the one thing I say about players like Steph, if he didn't have basketball, he would still be successful at life. So he's comfortable in his own skin. I'll take less to integrate Kevin Durant. Boogie Cousins will take less to integrate them. But now that they're gone and Klay's going to be hurt, it's going to be MVP type Steph again.
I think Steph's going to be a volume shooter. He's going to put up a lot of points. He'll be in that MVP conversation. What I do worry about is where they go defensively. This is a team, they lost Andre Iguodala, they lost Sean Livingston, 2 guys that played critical roles for them. Now what happens when you want to have 2 dynamic players on the court together in D'Lo and Steph, that makes you a liability defensively. Look, I watched that whole game. There were multiple clips of them where they're not even
hide
in
one,
the play.
But not 2.
Not even in the play. That's why my thing is, and also if Steph is a volume shooter, like I'm not sure D'Lo is good playing without the basketball. He's used to having the ball in his hands. That's why I don't know if I see this team making the playoffs.
Defense and how unproven that bench is. They're going to have to play a lot of young players who have not proven themselves in the NBA yet.
Look, I believe that the Warriors are going to be very good. I think they're going to be talented.
What's very good?
Very good. I think they'll make the
15?
postseason. I think they'll make the postseason, right? I don't know where they're going to lie, but this is one thing that people don't fully understand about Steph. He is still a smaller guy. We're not talking about James Harden that's going to get some knick-knack free throws, some like ticky-tack ones. We're not talking about LeBron James that's just big. We're going to ask a smaller guy to go out there and play 42 minutes. Yep. He's going to run around like a madman without a Klay Thompson out there for the first time in his career. He has not had the second or third best shooter in the world on his team. So we're going to go ask him to average 35, get beat up nonstop. You're going to be able to trap him, and you've never were really able to do that before because you had Klay Thompson and other guys there. So we're going to ask a lot from Steph, ask him to run around a ton and to get a beating in order to average that 30 plus.
D'Lo score. We'll
and how about
you guys being this, not Steph?
You're going to ask Steph Curry to do something this year that he hasn't had to do a lot the last few years. Play the fourth quarter of games, right?
Yeah, facts.
You're going to be in games again.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.